Hi everyone, Ellen Ballou here at the farm, Blue Sky Farm. I had an idea. I'm so moved by all the artists out there that are sharing their music and people sharing what they can for people who are locked up, practicing social distancing. And I'm lucky enough to be locked up with really cute animals, which makes it really fun. So I wanted to try to share the animals, but I also thought it would be really neat to share reading something to the animals. So I'm going to try reading one of my all-time favorite books that I read to my kids like a ton, to the point where we had it almost memorized, which is The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. So my goats have never heard it, and this is RuPaul, and this is Rudy, and this is Ren. Come here, Ren. And so I'm going to read to them because they're bored. I'm getting a little bored locked up, so I thought I'd come spend time with them and read, and maybe read to you all also. So, The Lorax by Dr. Seuss. Ready, guys? At the far end of town where the grickle grass grows, and the wind smells slow and sour when it blows, and no birds ever sing excepting old crows, is the street of the lifted Lorax. And deep in the grickle grass, some people say, if you look deep enough, you can still see today where the Lorax once stood, just as long as it could, before somebody lifted the Lorax away. And what was the Lorax, and why was it there, and why was it lifted and taken somewhere from the far end of town where the grickle grass grows? The old Onceler still lives there. Ask him. He knows. That creepy place. You won't see the Onceler, don't knock on his door, and he stays in his lurkum on top of his store, and he lurks in his lurkum cold under the roof, where he makes his own clothes out of myth-muffled moof. And on special midnights in August, he peeks out of the shutters, and sometimes he speaks, and he tells how the Lorax was lifted away. He'll tell you, perhaps, if you're willing to pay. On the end of a rope, he lets down a tin pail, and you have to toss in 15 cents in the nail, and the shell of a great-great-great-grandfather's tail. See that? Then he pulls up the pail and makes a most careful count to see if you paid him the proper amount, and then he hides what you've paid him away in his snub, in his secret strange hole in his grubulous glove. Then he grunts, I will call you by wisp on the phone, for the secrets I tell you are for your ears alone. Slop! Down slops the wisp of a phone to your ear, and the old Onceler's whispers are not very clear, since they have to come down through a sneggerly hose. He sounds as he has smallish bees up his nose. Now I'll tell you, he says, with his teeth sounding gray, how the Lorax got lifted and taken away. It all started back. Such a long, long time back. Way back in the days when the grass was still green and the pond was still wet and the clouds were still clean and the song of the swami swans rang out in space, one morning I came to this glorious place and I first saw the trees, the truffula trees, the bright colored tufts of the truffula trees, mile after mile in the fresh morning breeze. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that picture. That looks so nice. Do you like it? Very pretty. We should have some truffula trees at the farm. And under the trees, I saw brown barbaloons frisking about in their barbaloon suits as they played in the shade and ate truffula fruits. You guys are kind of looking like little barbaloons. We're going to call you barbaloons. And from the rippleless pond came the comfortable sound of the humming fish humming while splashing around. But those trees, those truffula trees, all my life I had been searching for trees such as these. The touch of their tufts was much softer than silk. and they had the sweet smell of fresh butterfly milk. I felt a great leaping of joy in my heart. I knew just what I'd do. I unloaded my cart. Oh boy. And in no time at all, I had built a small shop, and then I chopped down a truffle, a tree with one chop. With great skillful skill and with great speedy speed, I took a soft cup and I knitted a knead. Knead is a really fun word to say. You guys want to say knead? Oh, okay. Moving on. The instant I finished, I heard a gazump and I looked and I saw something pop out of the stump of the tree I chopped down. It was sort of a man. Describe him, that's hard. I don't know if I can. He was shortish and oldish and brownish and mossy, and he spoke with a voice that was sharpish and bossy. You see that? See that right there? That's him. Oh boy. Game on. There. Mister, he said with a sawdusty sneeze, I am the Lorax and I speak for the trees, and I speak for the trees have no tongues, and I'm asking you, sir, at the top of my lungs. He was very upset as he shouted and puffed. What is that thing that you've made out of my truffle tuft? Look, Lorax, I said, there's no cause for alarm. I just chopped one tree and I'm doing no harm. I'm being quite useful. This thing is a need, and a need is to find something that all people need. It's a shirt, it's a sock, it's a glove, it's a hat. But it has other uses, yes, far beyond that. You can use it for carpets, for pillows, for sheets, for curtains, or covers of bicycle seats. The Lorax said, Sir, you are crazy with greed. There is no one on earth who would buy that fool need. But the very next moment, I proved he was wrong, for just in that minute, a chap came along, and he thought that the need I had knitted was great, and he happily bought it for $3.98. I laughed at the Lorax. Ha, you poor stupid guy. You never can tell what some people will buy. I repeat, cried the Lorax, I speak for the trees. I'm busy, I told him. Shut up, if you please. And I rushed across the room, and in no time at all, I built a radio phone, and I put in a quick call, and I called all my brothers and uncles and aunts, and I said, listen here. Here's a wonderful chance for the whole Onceler family to get mighty rich. Get over here fast, take the road to North Nitch, turn left at Weehawken, sharp right at South Stitch. I know, they were hurrying. And in no time at all, in the factory I built, the whole Onceler family was working full tilt. We were all knitting needs, just as busy as bees, to the sound of the chopping of truffle trees. Oh. I need your help turning the page. I'm stuck. Then, oh baby, oh, how my business did grow. Now chopping one tree at one time was too slow, so I quickly invented my super axe hacker, which whacked off 4 truffle trees in one smacker. We were making needs 4 times fast as before. And that Lorax, he didn't show up anymore. He didn't. But the next week, he knocked on my new office door and he snapped, I am the Lorax that speaks for the trees, which you seem to be chopping down just as fast as you please. But I'm also in charge of the brown barbaloots, who play in the shade and eat in their barbaloot suits and happily lived eating truffle fruits. Now, thanks to your hacking my trees to the ground, there's not enough truffle food to go around. And my poor barbaloots are all getting the crummies because they have gas and no food in their tummies. I know. They love living here, but I can't let them say they'll have to find food, and I hope that they may. Good luck, boys, he cried as he sent them away. Look how sad that, you're not watching. Look how sad. I, the Onceler, felt sad as I watched them all go. But, you know, business is business, and business must grow regardless of crummies and tummies, you know. I meant no harm, I most truly did not, but I had to grow bigger, so bigger I got, and I biggered my factory, and I biggered my roads, and I biggered the wagons, and I biggered the loads of the needs I shipped out. I was shipping them forth to the south, to the east, to the west, to the north, and I went right on biggering, selling worth needs, and I biggered my money, which everyone needs. Check it out. Do you notice something? Do you notice the trees going away? Then again, he came back. I was fixing some pipes when the old nuisance Lorax came back with more gripes. I am the Lorax. He coughed and he whiffed. He sneezed and he snuffled and snarled and sniffed. Onslaught, he cried with a crupulous croak. Onslaught, you're making such smogulous smoke. My poor swami swans, while I can't sing a note. No one can sing, oh boy, who's got smog in his throat. And so, said the Lorax, please pardon my cough. I cannot live here, so I'm sending them off. Where will they go? I don't hopefully know. They may have to fly for a month or a year to escape from the smog that you've smogged up around here. What's more, snapped the Lorax, now his gander was up. Let me say a few words about gluppity-glup. Your machinery chugs on day and night without stop, making gluppity-glup, and also schloppity-schlop. And what do you do with this leftover goo? I'll show you, you dirty old Wuxler man, you. You're glumping the pond where the humming fish hummed, and no more can they hum, for their gills are all gummed. So I'm sending them off. Oh, their future is dreary. They'll walk on their fins and get woefully weary in search of some water that isn't so smeary. And then I got mad, I got terribly mad, and I yelled at the Lorax, now listen here, Dad, and all you do is yap, 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 and say bad, bad, bad. Well, I have my right, sir, and I'm telling you I intend on doing just what I do. And for your information, you Lorax, I'm figuring on biggering and biggering and biggering and biggering and turning more truffula trees into needs, which everyone needs. Do you guys need needs? You don't need needs. Do you? And at that very moment, we heard a loud whack. From outside in the fields came a sickening smack of an axe on a tree. Then we heard the tree fall, the very last truffula tree of them all. Look at that super depressing last truffula tree. No more trees, no more needs, no more work to be done. So in no time, my uncles and aunts, everyone's all waved goodbye. They jumped into my cars and drove away under the smoke-smuggered stars. Now all that was left neath the bad-smelling sky was my big empty factory, the Lorax, and I. Look at how bad that looks. Oh, not good. Hold on. The Lorax said nothing, just gave me a glance, just gave me a very sad backward glance as he lifted himself by the seat of his pants. And I'll never forget the grim look on his face when he hoisted himself and took leave of this place through a hole in the smog without leaving a trace. And all that the Lorax left here in this mess was a small pile of rocks with the one word, unless. Whatever that meant, well, I just couldn't guess. And that was long, long ago. But each day since the day, I sat here and worried away. Through the years while my buildings had fallen apart, I've worried about it with all of my heart. But now, says the Wunsler, now that you're here, the word of the Lorax seems perfectly clear. Unless someone like you cares a whole awful lot, nothing's going to get better. It's not. So, catch calls the one sort, and he lets something fall. It's a truffula seed, the last one of all. You're in charge of the last of the truffula seeds, and truffula trees are what everyone needs. Plant a new truffula and treat it with care, and give it clean water and feed it fresh air. Grow a forest, protect it from axes that hack. Then the Lorax and all of his friends may come back. The end. What did you think of that story? Did you like it? Did you all like that story? It's one of my favorites. Well, hopefully you enjoyed hearing a story while watching goats. Listen to a story. If you have any suggestions of books that you'd like me to read to my goats, something you think they might enjoy, let me know, and maybe we can get a book from the library through the drive-thru. So let me know what you think, and I will read some more stories. Thank you. Here, you want to shut the camera off? Here. Who wants to help you shut the camera off? You? Okay.
I'm gonna shut it. Shut the camera. I'm gonna shut the camera off right there. Can we do it?